You smiled 17 times today, telling everyone you were fine when you were actually struggling. You nodded through endless meetings that should have been emails, swallowing every growing frustration. Then you got home, encountered a cabinet door that wouldn't close, and suddenly lost all control. This massive meltdown wasn't about the furniture. It was never really about the cabinet door. It was about those 17 forced smiles and the exhaustion of performing a role all day. Most of us live in the painful gap between our public face and our private reality. Today, we will explore how to close that gap through something more honest than mere suppression.
Reactive people rarely think they are reactive, often believing they are simply the patient ones.
You think you are holding everything together while the world around you creates constant, draining chaos. However, holding it together is precisely the problem when your boss or friends cross a line.
You accept the wrong order at a cafe, or a last-minute cancellation with a fake smile.
Sending a fine emoji carries a heavy weight that stays with you long after the moment. These unexpressed feelings don't just vanish. They simply migrate toward the next minor inconvenience. They move to a slow driver, buffering Wi-Fi, or how someone incorrectly loads the dishwasher.
Suddenly, standing in your kitchen, you are ready to die on a hill over something trivial. Your anger is real, but it has been misrouted by the gap in your persona. To fix this, we must examine the 4 things you are likely doing that make things worse. First, venting involves unloading every vivid detail to a friend, which only keeps the fire burning.
Second, suppression works until it fails, usually exploding later at night or during unrelated arguments.
Third is rumination, where you replay the moment and compose devastating emails you will never send.
You imagine the perfect comeback that stuns the other person into a silence that never happens.
Finally, denial tells you the emotion doesn't exist, forcing it to go dangerously underground. It resurfaces as insomnia or a short temper, eventually manifesting back at that cabinet door. Instead of fighting yourself, we need to learn the art of performing a calm state.
When you act calm before you feel it, your body begins to believe the performance is real.
Dropping your shoulders and unclenching your jaw sends powerful signals to your entire nervous system.
Your body doesn't know you are doing this on purpose. It simply reads the physical data.
It notices the smile and decides that things must be okay, starting a gradual recalibration.
There is a slight delay, but the feeling of peace eventually arrives to match your actions. This isn't just faking it. You are utilizing a real, documented neurological pathway to serenity.
Your reaction often serves as the fuel that someone else's bad behavior needs to continue. Consider a screaming boss whose outbursts produce a visible effect of discomfort on everyone else. That collective flinching is feedback, telling the screamer their behavior is successfully achieving its point. Now, imagine being the one person in that room who refuses to flinch or react.
By removing the reaction, You strip the power from the situation and break the feedback loop.
To do this, remember that the feeling of urgency is often just an illusion.
Start by taking one real breath, in through the nose and out through the mouth.
Then, observe the situation by stripping away the narrative and identifying only the cold facts.
The boss spoke, or the friend canceled. Everything else is just a story you told yourself.
Finally, proceed with intention, choosing who you want to be instead of letting emotions steer.